welcome to Geekology. I'm David Sabina.
And I'm Sven Harvey.
And tonight we have an Eaglemoss special.
And a not Eaglemoss special.
Oh, very special. Okay, so we have two Enterprise Ds.
Yes.
Triple nacelle. This one is the freebie gift we got with our subscription.
Yeah.
This one is not. Now, there is a story behind the knot. One of our subscribers got in contact with Sven via, was it YouTube or Facebook?
It was on YouTube.
It was on YouTube. To let us know that there was a different version of the Enterprise D and what we thought of it if we've had a chance to review it yet.
And we went, what?
So, we got one for review purposes and we did some checking out from the seller. Now, the seller's story went like this. They were originally the factory that was licensed by Eaglemoss to manufacture the ship, and Eaglemoss cancelled their order and went with a different factory, and they were selling off the residual. Now, we've actually had this for a little while now because we were having some trouble getting in contact with Eaglemoss, but we finally did. We got in contact with Ben, who's in charge of the Starship Collection over there.
Yeah.
And he had a couple of statements. The first was that the factory who said they had it didn't have the license for it. They didn't have Eaglemoss's permission for it.
They don't have the license from CBS or Paramount or anything.
Yeah, so definitely not official.
Yeah.
That there had been a different factory to the one that they are using now, but for varying reasons he was unable to give me much information of it, other than it was closed down by the Chinese government. So they didn't actually cancel their order, it was just shut down by the government.
Now, it might be worth noting here now, this isn't confirmed, but what we believe is the case is that when they did the test marketing on the first 5 ships, that may not have actually been a test market. It might have been a case that they were having it, they got the 5 ships done, it looks like these were done, and then the factory got closed down, which is why they stopped it and restarted it. That's very conjecture. That's not confirmed. That's conjecture. But it would answer a lot of questions, wouldn't it?
Really would. It really would. We're going to quickly cut to some photos now. Okay, so as you can see from the photos straight off, there is a massive difference between the Shadyprise and the actual final. You can really see the differences with the colouring on the Aztecing here. I mean, it really is, it's gorgeous. The amount of detail on this one is phenomenal in comparisons with the original model.
But then it isn't really, because it's the same Aztecing that's on the official one. It's just been put darker. So it's
more muted. The colours
on the official one. So it's quite intriguing. And the fact that on the official one the lifeboats aren't picked out as well.
Yeah.
Which was one of the things that was a bit of a shame comparing it with a normal Enterprise D, to be fair. Yeah,
but it's one of the things that me and you both agree that this one is a stunning representation of the ship, and is, for argument's sake, in real life, far more what it would actually look like.
Yeah.
However, the other one, which we both equally love, looks far more organic, far more like what we actually saw on screen.
Yes, quite.
Because when you are showing a starship of this size on a television screen, guess what? You don't get all the detail.
Yes, quite.
So this one looks more natural.
Yeah.
Than this one does. This one looks far more CGI in comparisons with the screenshot model. I thought it was interesting as well, the thickness of the font between the two on the D.
Yeah.
I love what they've done with the nacelle strut on the second one.
Yes, absolutely.
Shadyprise. Although I must say the Shadyprise's vent ports are shockingly bad.
Yes, yeah. Whereas the RCS thrusters and so on and so forth on the official one just look a lot better and actually look like grills rather than blobs of gold paint.
Has to be said though with the Shadyprise that the decaling across the nacelles is far better.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is a massive colour difference in the buzzer drum scoops.
Oh god, yeah, the colour of the crystals is. Although funnily enough it's the same shade of blue they went with for the nacelle plastic.
Which is interesting.
Considering it's done by 2 different factories.
Yeah. And when you look at the great big phaser cannon underneath, there is quite a bit of difference in the detailing right at the front of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the thing is they've both got problems and they've both got their plus points.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to say which is actually the better model to a certain degree. They've both got, you know, an equal number of problems and an equal number of good sides. So it's very difficult. I mean, looking at them from an interest point of view, the Shadyprise probably just pips it.
Oh,
but when you look at it as an overall thing,
yeah,
then perhaps the official one's the better model.
Mm. Well, I see. I agree with you. I think the official one is good, beautiful. Really does set the tone.
Yeah,
and is very in keeping with the rest of the level of the ships. Where this one is purely a comparisons point. Although I would say if anybody can get their hands on one, to grab one for their collection, because it's phenomenal.
It's just. I mean, if anything, it'd make an awfully good alternative universe version.
Definitely. I'm thrilled I got one in my collection.
Yeah.
I'm really pleased for no other reason than I can put the two together and go, this is the difference.
Yeah.
With what the company did. So going back to our conversation with Ben, one of the questions we asked him was about the factories that were making the models, because we'd have various comments and feedback that some models were a lot better than others, and the construction of them and all the rest of it. And they actually surprised us by saying that there's only one factory.
I mean, one of the things Ben did mention quite strongly was the fact that he was a little disappointed with how the Deep Space Nine came out, because he really wanted to have the aerials on the top, didn't he? But it was just, unless it was going to be the size of a hair.
It'd have been ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great that he felt that passionately about it and he really wanted to.
But unless it was going to be 2 or 3 times that size, it was never going to happen.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? No, you could not have a collection this size.
No,
any
quite
bigger than it really is.
Even if we do one in scale with the Enterprise B.
Although one of the nice things from talking to him that I found out was that he's a classic fan.
Yeah.
And that he's really looking forward to doing more of the original ships.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he'd had the same customer feedback that we've had.
Yeah.
Which is that the ones with more of the Aztecing on are the ones that people really prefer.
Yes, quite. Which will be interesting with classic Trek ships not having any.
Yeah, because they have none.
No, quite.
They from an artistic point of view, they are really plain, because in the 60s, people's idea of space travel was
smooth
these long, beautiful, cylindrical or chromed and just beautiful, elegant, stylish starships.
Yes.
Where now we go, no, we want it made up of 30 different panels and they should all be slightly different shade of egg blue.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, our opinions on the realistic expectations of space travel have changed massively.
Absolutely.
But the trouble is, I mean, classic fans, we know what those ships should look like.
Absolutely.
It's a big white tube.
Yeah, exactly. This is the thing.
Done.
You've got the all grey gunmetal-y colour for the D7 battle cruiser.
Yep.
The Klingon battle cruiser. You've got the white ship with the feathers underneath the Romulan bird of prey.
Really awful white as well.
Yeah,
it was harsh.
It was harsh. And then you've got the Enterprise, which is going to be more problematic because there were 3 versions of it.
Yeah, because I mean, throughout all of the first season, you still had the model they used for the cage, which had the domes on the back of the nacelles, had the stick. No, it wasn't. That one didn't have the sticks. What one was it? The sticks. That was the cage went before.
The cage didn't have the globes at the back, but it did have the sticks.
Yes.
Nowhere has gone before didn't have the globes at the top, but didn't have the sticks.
And then
the final version is the one that has the globes at the back. So, yeah, it's...
And the triangle and circle and square underneath.
Yes,
that
exactly.
was
with the Bombay doors. Yeah.
Which model was it that had that?
I think that was the final
final
version of the model.
Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of people, unless they've really up on the technical manual, or they've got the Blu-ray digitally remastered version,
might not even have noticed that.
They're not going to know.
Yeah, especially with the remastered version showing the Bombay doors actually opening for the first time ever, which by the way was actually storyboarded and just couldn't afford to do it.
Now I think about it, although it wasn't opened, we saw that on Trials and Tribulations.
Yes, yeah,
we did. So some people, but again, if you're not into DS9,
you may not see
you might not have seen that episode. So you may never have seen the very first digitally remastered Enterprise.
Yeah.
So
Quite.
I can see their point of view. I would be a bit concerned about that. If people are going, I want all this level of detail, I think I'd be going, well, have you seen what's on the 60 stuff?
Yeah.
Start sweeping it towards the back
It'll
of the
be
collection.
interesting as well. Will they fall into the trap of putting the grid lines on the top of the saucer section?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's in the blueprints.
Yeah, but it's not on the model.
Not on the model. So it'll be like, ooh, which way?
Well, you see, the thing is, if you look through the magazines, they go with varying information points, and whatever information point they go with, they wholeheartedly, that's what they produce.
I mean, realistically speaking, because we've already had 1701 refit, the final refit, you've got, essentially they could release 4 more versions of 1701.
Yeah, but I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, is you could have the Cage 1701, you could have the No Man, Where No Man Has Gone Before 1701, the normal 1701 as the normal one, and then the Phase 2 one.
Yeah, but the whole point is it's meant to be a Starship collection, it's for people that want them.
Exactly.
So I would think, as long as they were realistic about their spacing out, so one every 10 issues.
Yeah.
What does it even mean, episodes?
Because it's Star Trek, it's always going to be episodes in our head.
If they released, say, a different version of the Constitution class Enterprise every 10 issues or so, they could quite easily get away with doing the whole lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So which ones are going to choose?
Because let's face it, we're all going to want the Defiant as well.
Oh yeah, I want the
maybe
Defiant.
the Lexington or the Exeter.
You see, but this raises another point, and something else that they've got to be quite concerned about is the fact that, especially for the original Starships, it was the same ship, just different name. So
I mean, if they do something like, will they do the Constellation? And if they do, are they going to do it half knackered?
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see quite, how they approach something like that.
But I do think it's nice that they actually have a Star Trek fan working on the Star Trek collection.
Absolutely, which does help immensely.
Oh god, yeah, definitely.
And to be honest, when you think about it, it probably shows through on a few of them.
Yeah.
Though the occasional choice of ship names a bit.
Yeah, you've still got that Nebula class really jammed in your head, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was nice that they could confirm that, that they are working very closely with one factory.
Yeah.
Because it was something we theorised on after seeing that what we would say is quality control issues with
I mean,
them.
it's literally comparing the Enterprise D and the Voyager. It was a bit.
Yeah, you would
think
they were done. But again, I can see it from their point of view.
Yeah.
They were never meant to be made this scale.
Yeah, exactly.
And apart from anything else, die cast and plastic. You're always going to have lines.
Absolutely. But Ben, while we've got you, because we know you're going to be watching this, Deep Space Nine, it needed a base, okay?
Yeah, seriously. Next time you do big specials, bases.
Tell you what, when you next do a special, it's a star base. Do you want to put a base in for the Deep Space Nine as well? That's an idea.
That's not going to happen.
I know that's not going to happen, but while you're there, make one of them the Mushroom. Starbase 1.
Yeah, we really want Space Dock 1.
Space Dock 1, absolutely.
Yeah, we all want Space Dock 1.
Space Dock, yes, please. I'd love to have a little Enterprise. I know that's not going to happen, but I'd love to have a little Enterprise that shows the damn scale of the thing, because it's huge.
It would have been quite nice if you'd have had any clue how big the...
Krenim warship was.
Thank you so fucking.
Sorry, the Krenim temporal weapon ship.
Temporal weapon ship. Yeah, it's just
because that's just a massive thing, isn't it, compared with the Voyager?
Yeah, but in all fairness, DS9. I mean, yeah, that was big.
Well, this is the thing. A Deep Space Nine in scale with this would have been what, that big?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's all tricky.
Yeah, very tricky.
Having now seen the Shadyprise, it just goes to show the interpretational differences, and it's an interesting point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think that about wraps it up. We should say a big thank you to Ben over at Eaglemoss for getting back to us with some information. Actually, you know what? I'd just like to thank Eaglemoss. I'm not going to give them the best review for all of their ships, but I'm really happy with the range, and I think they're doing a great job.
Well, let's face it, we've never had a Nebula class before, have we?
No, and there were lots of ships. We've
lots
never
of
had
ships.
the Cronin warship.
No,
so
quite. So some of these are, we're never going to see
the sail
those
ship.
additional ones.
I didn't like it, but there was no way we were ever going to get it.
No, quite in
So,
any other way.
yeah.
So thumbs up for that.
Yeah.
We've got some live events coming as well, haven't we?
Oh God, I'm going to be surrounded by Transformers.
Yes, Order Assembly in August. He's going to be there for a day. That could be interesting. I'm there all weekend, but he's there for a day. So don't mob him too much.
You know what? It's fine. I know that I only review them from a toy basis, and I know that some of you feel very passionately about that, and I've read some of the comments that you've been kind enough to leave at the bottom of some of our videos, and I'm a toy collector. I review them as toys. I do not have the passion that he does for the collection. That's fine. No, in all fairness, I've been to Auto Assembly before to give you a hand, and I enjoyed it. I like being amongst fans, even if it's not a fandom I feel passionately about. It's always good to feel other people's love towards the show.
But the good news is we're going to be surrounded by Star Trek fans next April.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to it. They've got a disco. Oh yeah.
I'm so sorry, guys. But yes,
it's gonna be
first
great.
contact day. It's 4th and 5th of April next year. 2 days with the disco on the Saturday night. Yeah.
And there could be something extra special there. There's
No,
a special Starbase.
Yes, there could be. Well, there is already special Starbases there because Starbase 24.
There's going to be an additional Starbase.
But there's Starbase 0121 may well be making an appearance, and I'm sure you'll be hearing more about that in the meantime.
Right. In the meantime, you can subscribe to us here on YouTube. You can follow us on both Facebook and Twitter. And of course, there is the official Geekology website.
And don't forget, put the yellow back in the bat.
Oh, come on, guys. Seriously. I expected this to have gone viral by now. Sign.
And if you're not careful, we might do something Star Trek as well along those lines.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Good night.
Bye.
So, we got our hands on one. So we know that there's one person out there that's very happy, which is good, and I'm very happy because now I get to compare them.
Yeah.
I think from a
Compare the Starships.com. Sergey, get that laptop working.
We have to hear this cooling down. So on compare the Starship
Compare the Starship.
when we do the Eaglemoss reviews, we score the ships.
Yes. Preferably not with a knife.
Yeah. We can't do that with this because it's not official.
No, it's not official.
See, this is it, because how much trouble are we going to get into for saying you should buy this when it's unofficial?
Well, yeah, it's not like we work for Eaglemoss though, is it?
Yeah, this is it. Okay. If we'll reshoot that bit.